Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This is, yes, Encounters. And once in a while, we do the morning edition. So this morning, we'll be on here till 10 o'clock. We're going to do 1 hour show. My big show is at night, which is over 2 hours, about 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is a 1 hour broadcast. Welcome to the show. You've heard about the evening show, Encounters. I am the CmdrAleon, host of Encounters, the #1 spiritual UFO talk show anywhere. I don't care what's out there, how big the studio is. The information you're getting, you get here. And we're glad to have you with us. I just messaged earlier today 2 people, one in New Jersey and another one somewhere else, with some really good UFO footage. And I'm going to try to get them on the show tonight if possible. Marinette, good to see you. You know, there's a lot of good footage now. If you look carefully, there are people actually recording this. This woman in New Jersey, I just messaged her, and she video recorded some really good UFO footage. Now, in New Jersey, I don't know where it's coming from. You know, the fires on the border of New York and New Jersey, they're trying to put those out. And they might have drones that are being put in the air to figure out where they are, the fires, or where they need to be. But don't be fooled, folks. There's other things going on there. In this other footage I was watching, supposedly, and again, I would have to interview this person, there were supposedly Black Hawk helicopters that were, looking at these drones. Now, what would Black Hawk helicopters be doing monitoring drones? Really? Yeah, definitely. And, I'm going to probably show you the footage if I can find it again. I'll maybe wait till tonight. But this person in New Jersey, she got some really good footage, and it was definitely not drones, and it definitely wasn't conventional aircraft, because I've been around the block enough times as a trained observer to know what a drone is, an airplane is, a jet, whatever. Hey, Papa, good to see you. Everybody coming in here, welcome. One thing you can't do with video is fool me. I studied, when I did TV broadcasting, we produced video. We were in studios doing that. So I know, what's out there. If something is a plane, I'll know it. If it's a commercial airline jet, military jet, helicopter, and you show me video, I'll tell you, yeah, that's right. But what this person had was definitely incredible. It was a really good video. So it's really important. Now, there's a lot more sightings happening. They're happening everywhere, I've noticed. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are people videotaping now. They're being conscious enough to record something unusual in the sky, and they're getting some good footage. And it's happening all over the place. Now, understand something. I'm a little bit early today. Hey, Ryan, good to see you. Yeah, I'm a little bit early today. I got my apple cider. I had my coffee. I did my morning walk. In the morning, I like to walk. So I do a morning walk in the morning, and I'm all ready to go and do things for the day. So I like to walk up here, and it's nice. And so here I am live this morning. Normally I'm on at 11 o'clock at night with the big show, but we're here this morning, and I know there's going to be people that have never heard of the show. Welcome to Encounters, the show that's on late night at 11 o'clock. Welcome. If you've been looking for a real talk show, hey, Alice, from somebody who's in the know, this is the place to be. Doesn't matter what's out there, this is the place to be. I'm also what you call a star seed. I'm also from Mars originally. My original planet was Mars, with 10 to 15 million inhabitants that live there now. Contrary to anything you hear about Mars, there are people living on Mars. Okay, and the other part of it is I am not only a contactee from the 60s for new people. I had my first contact with space people back in the 60s when I was a kid. I went upstairs. I was living in Long Island for just a short period of time as a kid. Went upstairs after dinner. Everyone else was downstairs. I had no reason to go upstairs, and looked out my brother's window, and in the cul-de-sac was a spaceship hovering with men, women, and young adults, what I call young adults, in blue outfits, like light blue spacesuits, and they were human. They were not ugly looking ETs. They were human. Breaking news, you know, a lot of the beings that are people that come from other planets are like us. They're not these, these CGI created monsters that people create on social media. Not at all. They're just like us. They have feelings. They have emotions. The one thing they do have is peace. On their planets, they have peace. There's no wars. There's no shopping malls. There's no bombs. There's no guns. There's nothing. They live in complete harmony, unlike on Earth for so many years. Our planet has been in dysfunctional array on and off for billions of years. Understand, our planet is billions of years old, not thousands of years, billions. All right? And that is a fact that nobody can dispute. We are billions of years old. So don't you think that there have been other civilizations that have come and gone here over billions and billions of years? Of course they have. And the people that are in control, trying to control this information about extraterrestrial intelligence and UFOs, are all liars. And these things I say are for entertainment purposes only, but it is the truth. And I don't go to Google searching the truth. I don't go into some other search engine to search the truth. The truth is within you, if you're willing to find it. For me, because of my experiences, I don't go anywhere. I know where I came from. I know why I'm here. I know I was born here on Earth. I know that I've been activated now. I'm a telepathic communicator with the space people that I'm connected with that are human. I'm able to, and if you watched my show last night, I am not even keeping track of it. I've actually been able to take out implants remotely that have been put in there by the government or by a combination of the government and lower vibe ETs. I've been able to destroy implants remotely on my show. I do this, So there's no skeptic that can say, oh, you're not doing it. There's no skeptic that can even come close to telling me or arguing with me about, oh, you can't do that. All you have to do is talk to the people that I've taken implants out of, and they'll tell you that I've taken the implants out and destroyed them. And if you know anything about the commander, I don't care what you think. I really don't. That goes out to the skeptics and whatever. I don't care what they think, because I do what I do, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep pushing buttons. I'm going to keep busting the matrix. Whether you're ready or not, here I come. Encounters. Welcome to the show. And the reason why we're such a popular program is because I'm not doing the normal routine, the normal UFO show, the normal thing, the normal discussion. This show is truly out of this world if you're willing to stick around and hear it. And you'll hear some amazing guests, people that need to be heard. They're heard here. Where they're not heard anywhere else, they're heard here. Because I do believe people need to have their voices heard. I do believe if you're a starseed and you've been alienated from the ability to be who you are, starseeds, this is a place where you can speak about your encounters, going on a spaceship with your space family. If you've been abducted, you can come here and not be afraid to talk about it. If you have information and you're in a former situation as a top security clearance person, you can come in here and divulge the information without saying where you are, and we'll have you on here. And I've had people on here that are within or outside of the government who have top security clearance, and they have come here and divulged information. And they have. I'm a little bit amped up today or this morning. I'm not sure. I never knew what was going to come out of my mouth when I got on here this morning. So I'm just going with whatever it is and letting it happen. Okay? Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate that. And I do see you. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just in a mode of just saying whatever I need to say right now. I might as well just get it out there. Get it out there. And with all these sightings, I've been having a lot of, it's been great watching people on TikTok who are videotaping and documenting now what they're seeing. Thank you, Amina, for the gift. People are actually taking the time. People that have never seen things before are videotaping these things. They're opening themselves up to situations where they're now documenting and asking questions. What did I just see? What did I just record? And a lot more people, millions of people, between now and next year are going to be recording things that they've never seen in their life in the skies above us. I guarantee it. And if you're one of those people that said, I've never recorded a spaceship, a non-terrestrial spacecraft, you will have that chance to do it. You'll have the opportunity to see that happen. You just have to take the time and the effort to go out there in a place where it's quiet. It doesn't matter if you're in a suburban neighborhood or near the mountains or wherever you are. If you spend time looking at the sky for about 2 hours and you stay focused, and forget the conventional aircraft, the helicopters, the airplanes, the space station, whatever, you will see something. You will see something. You will see the increased amount of sightings that are going to happen now, which are already happening as we end 2024 into 2025. Okay. You're going to see something. Now, you might not believe you're going to see something now because you've never seen something, but you're going to start seeing, I call it non-terrestrial spaceships. People can call them UAPs, UFOs, flying saucers, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get right down to the truth. There are spaceships coming to Earth, and they've been coming to Earth for billions of years. It's not the first time. They've been here for billions of years coming to Earth. You think, excuse me, when the Pentagon talks about and acknowledges that their UAPs or UFOs are coming from the oceans, where do you think they're coming from? Where do you think they're coming from? We talked about this before they had the hearings. I've talked about this before they had the hearings. April and I have spoken about this months ago. April and I have discussed this. April has been in the oceans with the Ashtar Command and has been to one of the bases, one of the cities, which was attacked by our government with extraterrestrials that were negative, and those weapons were actually confiscated and destroyed. And they did damage to, in the Indian Ocean, there is a base, an Ashtar Command base city in the depths, deep, deep, deep down in the ocean, one of several bases. And this was done months ago. They used a weapon that destroyed the natural habitat, and people got hurt. People that were also space people. And for months, the Ashtar Command spent time rejuvenating and replenishing the surface and bringing back life to that area. But the other weapon that was taken was destroyed and captured by the Ashtar Command. This happened a few months ago. Many of you don't know this. There are things we know. Okay? Things are happening. People are wondering. I hear comments where you say, why is it? I read comments in some of the TikTok feeds where people are posting their sighting footage, and people saying, I've noticed there's an increase of sightings. Why is there an increase of UFO sightings everywhere? You want to know why? Because the time is coming, folks, and get ready for it. The time is coming for contact. All right? And it's not going to be on the Pentagon's dime. Excuse me. It's not going to be on the Pentagon's dime. We're in control of the situation. They're not. We're in control of the situation. They are not in control of what's happening. They know what's happening is going to be happening soon. There are people individually being contacted now. You might be one of them watching my show. You might have say, Commander, I just had contact with a Pleiadian or a Turian or somebody. You've had physical contact now. Maybe you had contact with the Anunnaki or whoever. You're having contact now. Don't deny your contact. If you're having the contact, take a deep breath and realize it's for your own beingness, for your own good. It's now time for you to have that contact. If you know you're a starseed, man, I'm amped up today. If you know you're a starseed and you come from somewhere else, don't let your brain tell you, no, I don't think you're a starseed. I think you're just a human being. Don't listen to your brain. Listen to your inner voice. Your inner voice tells you everything. Your brain plays games with you. The human brain always likes to do that. It wants to doubt you. It wants you to be doubtful. Don't be doubtful for who you are. Be who you are. Stand strong on who you are. Don't worry about what other people think. Family, friends, who cares what they think? It doesn't matter. If they're asleep, they're asleep. If you're awake, you're awake. You have something to teach them. They have something to learn from you. But if they're asleep, they're not going to learn anything. Right? They're not going to learn anything. But you have to stand strong now. It's time to be who you are. It's time in the next 12 months to be who you are. It's time for people to get focused, to get ready for contact. I don't channel anything. I don't sit here saying, I'm the great Hubar and I'm going to give you the information. Wait a minute. I have to get my channel together here. I gotta adjust my channel. I don't do that. What I do is real. I don't have any pendulum swinging around or crystal balls hanging down behind me. I don't play that game. I want you to know the truth. You deserve the truth. And that's the most important thing. I've seen the rainbow electric orbs forming brilliant triangles. They are so close. Dynasty Electric. I think we're going to bring you up here. And if you can come on here, we'd love to have you on. If you can come on the camera, turn your camera on. We'd like to definitely talk to you here. Dynasty Electric. You've just been invited on the morning edition of Encounters. Tara Renee says they're in my backyard every night. I'm going to send a few invites here. Tara Renee, I'd like to hear from you too. I'm going to invite you to come on live on screen. Let's see who takes the bite for the invite. That's interesting, the bite for the invite. And again, this is Encounters. We're usually on at 11 o'clock at night with the large show. So we're going to see who's going to come in that I'm inviting to come on live here. Just press the accept button, Renee, and we'll bring you on here. So right now, I'm just looking at the comments. Let's see. Levi says, I have a well blue in color, shimmering Lake Michigan. I'm not sure what that means. It's a movie. Oh, okay. Let's see. John says, I see orbs every night. Live right next to the old Griffin Air Force Base. Interesting. I'm going to invite Josh up. Let me just say something. Before I invite anybody up here, you must be over 18. Don't fake it, because you'll be out of here in 2 seconds. No kids on the show, no smoking on the show, no vaping, no drugs, no drunks, no drinking or whatever, no paranormal discussion, no politics, and no religion, and no cursing. Definitely no cursing. Let's see. We're just going to bring Josh up here. We'll see who takes the bite. And again, this is a show that I do at night. I'm trying to do some morning shows here. And so far, I'm inviting people, and you have to just press the accept button on your side of it to come on here live. Harold says, seen an aircraft carrier size ship with 3 lights go over Philadelphia Airport with my son. Interesting story. Now, I'm sending out I send you a guest invite, just press the accept button. So, Harold. Here we go. Let me bring the volume up. Harold, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the #1 spiritual UFO talk show at night, doing a morning show here. I'm CmdrAleon. Welcome to the show.
How are you, Commander?
We're doing good. Tell us the background about your story. It says, seen an aircraft carrier the size ship with 3 lights go over Philadelphia Airport. When did that happen?
Right. I live a block from the river on the Jersey side. And me and my son were in the yard, and we were about to come into the house, and everything went quiet. Crickets, outside noise, everything went completely quiet. And I started looking around, and when I looked up, it was a big, kind of rectangular, about the size of an aircraft carrier with 3 lights. And I said to my son, his name is Fabian. I said, Fabian, what is that? And he was coming up the steps and turned and looked, and he was speechless. I said, Fabian, what is that? And he still didn't answer me. And the 3rd time he says, Dad, I don't know. And we watched it go right over our house, which, like I said, I'm right across the river from the Philadelphia Airport. Yeah. And we watched it go south for about 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden, all the background noise came back. And
oh, wow.
It was almost like a calming feeling when when it went completely silent. Which automatically I just started looking around. I was like, what's going on? and we seen it. It was huge. I mean, huge. And it just
Wow.
went south in, in the direction of the rectangle, like the three lights in a row going
Yeah.
south. And when it got far enough, the noise had come back, and we both looked at each other, and we were in awe. I mean,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
Yeah, I can tell by reading your energy about that story. That wasn't one of ours. That there are triangular craft that are reverse engineered, but that one was not one of ours. Just
No.
based on your story, that thing was definitely off planet. How did you feel when you were seeing it? Did you? I always like to know, like, what, how people's feelings were when they see a spaceship like that, and how did you guys feel? You and your son.
Yeah, right. It was like a calming, peaceful feeling, and like when the noise was gone, it was almost relaxing, and kind of like a vibration, kind of like a good vibe,
Mm-hmm.
which automatically made me look around because
Mm-hmm.
it was just out of the normal with the noise going, and then all of a sudden feeling. And when I looked up, I seen the three lights, and you can actually see the rectangular was darker than the night sky.
Right. Right.
And we both looked at it, and neither one of us could move. He was halfway up the steps, and he just couldn't move. He was, like I said, he was speechless for
Oh
a
wow.
couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, it's anytime I hear about UAPs and everything, I get, after seeing that, I mean, that was just incredible.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
that that
I've
that'll
seen,
shake your
little,
foundation.
yeah, I mean, the little lights here and there moving, but this thing was actually huge, and we could see
Wow.
it. Yeah. And
That's amazing.
yeah, I'm glad he was with me because he, he, he backs up my story and I back up his, obviously. But I mean, just the thought of that, something that big flying across with no
Yeah.
noise whatsoever, and the Philadelphia airport right there, we didn't hear airplanes, nothing. And
Wow.
yeah, like I said, it was definitely amazing.
Yeah, and that's and the thing is, folks, he has such a great description of what he was seeing with his son. A huge spaceship, and were there other objects around it, or was it just that one object?
No, just the one object.
Wow, that's amazing. That's
Yeah, and
amazing.
seeing the size because it was darker than the background just blew me away. Like I said, it was like the size of an aircraft carrier just going
Hmm.
right across the
Yeah.
sky. And it only
Wow.
had three lights, but
Hmm.
you could see the form, and it was just a big rectangle.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was crazy. It was definitely something to remember. Yeah,
Wow, Herc, thank you so much, man, for being my first guest. That is an amazing story, everybody.
no
And
problem.
again, and what year did that happen?
Um, Probably about 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah,
Hey, look, right now things are going to go crazy in the skies all over the world pretty soon. And
right.
you saw that 5 years ago. I
Yeah,
guarantee you, you
four
and
or
your son
five
are going to see
years.
some. Yeah, you're going to see some more stuff.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Oh,
is.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting like most people.
Well, you don't have to wait. Make sure your cameras are charged up,
Oh
and
yeah.
take some time at night to go outside if you have the ability, and spend an hour or two looking at the skies and observe.
Right.
And
Right.
I would recommend everybody do that now.
Yeah, I definitely will.
All right, Herc.
I have been too. I've been eagle watching. We have eagles right on the river, and
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, and I haven't gone at night, but I do go during the day, and I do
Hmm.
keep an eye on the sky. I mean, there's a lot
Yeah.
of. I just seen a photo of a guy in Georgia took a picture of clouds, and you can see a big, huge city if you just turn it negative, where black and white.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
so much detail in it. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna actually tell you that there is what they call cities in the clouds. Then I'll get into that a little bit. What everyone here doesn't know about that. The
Hmm.
space people, the good people, have cities in the clouds in different parts of the world. These cities are where they go off the ship to rest while they're doing the mission work here.
Right.
And I do have a picture my friend April graciously sent me although this is going back earlier in the year, but I have a picture of a city in the clouds. I'll show everybody in just a little bit. So I will definitely do that. So I want to thank Kirk. I want to thank you. I'm on at night at 11 o'clock, everybody. That's my normal time, but I'm trying to do some morning shows and pop in here on TikTok in the morning a little bit for those that have never seen us before. So Herc, thank you for coming up here and telling that story.
Oh, no problem, Commander. You have a wonderful day.
Hey, you too. Have a great day too. Let me bring you down, and we're gonna now. If you wish to be a guest on the show, I've invited a few people. And again, if you have a story to tell, if you're having visitations with the space people directly, don't be afraid to tell the story here. I'm a contactee. I've had that happen when I was a kid. You don't have to be afraid to tell your story here. This is not a show for skeptics. So if you have had sightings like Herc and his son, we want to hear about it. If you're having sightings now, wherever you are, we want to hear about it. Get in the queue, and we'll go by the numbers here. And let me see here. Okay, Lee, I think it's Lee. Okay, Lee, we're going to bring Lee up. And if you wish to be on the show, you need to do the request on TikTok, and I'll get you up here.
Hey, good
Lee,
morning, Commander.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Doing well, sir. Thank you for having me on.
It's my pleasure. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you'd like to share this morning.
So I live in the great state of Michigan, and I've been an avid runner my whole life. I'm 40 years old. Lake Michigan is a very popular place where we like to go and do our training runs. And 4 times in the last year now, maybe year and a half, we've been out on Lake Michigan at dusk. And from the Wisconsin side of the lake, so it could be the middle of the lake, but it's coming from the west. It's a giant triangle it lights up blue, and it comes to our lakeshore. And I'm in West Michigan. Like if you look at your hand, kind of right where your pinky is, and your pinky knuckle, and it comes to the shore, and then it goes south, and it goes down. There's another town called Grand Haven. It's about 40 miles away. But we've seen it go down, hover over the port, like the channel to Grand Haven, and then it shoots way up past us to the north, and it goes about to the next city, and it like hovers right over where the channel is, and then it comes back to us, and then it shoots straight back out into the lake.
And Lee, could you bring your camera on? You have camera capabilities. Are you able to go on live on the screen?
Yeah, I could do that.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Sure.
The only time I don't push it is if somebody doesn't have enough, followers. But
Sure.
let's see here. So there you go. I think Hey Lee, good to see you. Okay.
Hey, good morning, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's always good to see a human face. So
Sure.
Continue on with your story for our viewers. This is Encounters, our morning show. I am on with the big show at night at 11 o'clock, but we're doing some morning stuff here. And Lee, continue on with your story about what's happening out there.
Giant triangles of light, and they're not like an LED light. It's not like a white light. It's just like a very, very visual-esque, like it's not bright, but you can see it for all the way up and down the shoreline. And they had to have been moving at speeds, man, I'd say like 150, 200 miles an hour.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
If we had to put like a thing, because, we're running, I don't know, maybe 5 miles an hour, and we're used to cars driving by us, and the quickness that they would get down the beach to the next place and then come flying back up the shore. The first time we saw it, everybody just kind of like, whoa, what did we see? And we kept on scheduling our runs to go back out there just to try to see if we could see it again.
Yeah.
So
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, like 4 times in the last year and a half, we've seen them. And there's 8, 10 of us.
Do you think that where you are, you're in that region, that there's some bases in the water up there? I've heard stories about that.
I wouldn't put it past them. Lake Michigan isn't that deep comparatively to like what the ocean standards are. It might go down like 300 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really weird what we perceive, that whole Great Lakes area, all the lakes, there are bases in the lakes.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also, not only that, I understand, Lee, this is from my research, that in the lake area, there's galactic portals where these spaceships are coming into. For some reason, that part of the Earth, that is a big portal there. In that part of the world, there is definitely a galactic portal there. I mean, I'm not even just saying it. It does exist. That's why there's so much going on there.
You know, they just built. Have you heard of the statue of the portal that they're building all over America?
No.
So it's this huge.
Oh yeah, that huge thing where you can see other people.
Circle.
I've seen the videos. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's one of those right here in my hometown. They just put it up, and it costs like $378,000 for them to put this circle in the middle of like. No, it's such a weird thing.
Yeah.
Huge circle, and people. I've heard a lot of stories about the portal because of the Civil War.
Right.
There's a lot of activity here during the Civil War from the portal. And that you go right out into Lake Michigan, right off of our coast, and it's not the Bermuda Triangle, but they call it like the Black Energy Triangle.
Yeah, there's like a triangle. There's triangles. There's one here in New England in near the Cape. There's a triangle there where spaceships or UFOs have been seen, Bigfoot, a number of things. I think one night I was coming home years ago with my wife and my daughter, and we were coming home and we took the wrong interstate highway, and we said, well, this is not the way home, and we're like seeing all this woods and stuff. I said, this is just too weird. We're like not where we're supposed to be. And I know we were in that area of what they call the triangle, and it's on the coast going toward the Cape. So what you're saying is true. There's a triangle over the Great Lake area. There is definitely a triangle there. It's very interesting.
And also, if you go up to like Lake Superior, it's a little further north than we are. But you know, the whole copper thing. Like, have you seen the copper mines that they have up there and what's like put into the rocks?
I'm unaware of that.
It's amazing. Yeah, Lake Superior, and then just type in copper, and it is one of the most magnificent looking things that you've ever seen as far as rock formations go. Just the reddest rock, but it's all copper, and it's, I think, the largest deposit in America.
Oh wow! Well, Lee, I want to thank you for coming up here and sharing your story. And this is what's happening, folks. People are having all kinds of things happening. I'm sure you're going to have more things happening as we go into 2025. You live right in that area, so keep your camera going, and if anything happens, record it.
Yes, sir. Will do.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Lee. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. And Lee was our second guest. Again, this is Encounters, the morning show. I'm CmdrAleon, your host for the big nighttime show, Encounters, we do every night most times. And if you're not used to seeing a UFO show on UFO show on TikTok, I mean an actual show, this is a show. You know, we don't just get on here and have a little discussion and think maybe this, maybe that. You know, we've got our information. All right. Kansas story for you. Lance N. Again, you have to be over 18. No kids on the show. No cursing on the show. No vaping. No smoking. No drugs. No drunks. No drinking, whatever. No paranormal discussion. No politics. And no religion. So Lance N. Lance N has a story. So we're going to bring Lance N up here. You have to be over 18 if you're faking it. We will definitely take you out of the show in 2 seconds. And if you've had visitations, we want to hear about that too. We deal with people that have had encounters or been taken on ships. Lance N., welcome to Encounters.
Hey, how we doing today?
We're doing good. How about you, sir?
Oh, you know, just living the dream at work, all that good stuff.
Are you able to come on screen on camera, or is that something you can't do right now?
I can't right now. I'm at work.
Okay, that's cool. So give us a background about your story for audience so we can know what's going on.
Yeah, this is probably back in 2011. I worked at a tire plant down here in Kansas, and I worked third shift. I was sitting outside and wasn't really minding anything except my phone at the time. And my friend who was sitting next to me kind of just slapped me in the chest randomly, and I kind of looked at him like he was crazy, and he's like pointing up at the sky, and I'm like, what is going on here? So what I seen was, it was a black triangle as well, but it had no lights. It was probably 30 feet from the ground, and it was traveling maybe 1 to 2 miles per hour. And it was huge. It was. I mean, it probably was maybe 40. I mean, maybe a football or like
Yeah,
yardage wise long,
like a
you
football
know.
field. Yeah, yep.
But it was just super silent. I mean, you could hear the wind blow, but you couldn't hear this thing at all. And it moved so slow. I mean, it wasn't possible at all for an object that small. I mean, that large to
Hmm.
move as slow as it was going. And
Yeah,
without any noise.
no noise at all.
And
Yeah.
I I was kind of just stunned for a minute. Didn't really know what to think. And so I grabbed my phone, and before I could even raise my phone up, it was gone.
Wow,
It
that's
was it was
interesting.
it was very crazy.
And you know what? The one thing is, Lance, when you see something that is completely silent, for the most part, those are non-terrestrial spaceships. If it makes noise or whatever, it most likely would be reverse engineered. But if it's silent like that, it's most likely, in many cases, it's not something that we've created or built at like Area 51 or something like that. Very
Yeah,
interesting.
and that's what I kind of thought too. I was like, there's no technology that I know of or anybody else has seen that can be that big and just completely silent and move as slow as it did. I mean, it was just above the treetops, and
Wow.
it was something else. I mean, I went on and registered on the UFO websites and stuff, and actually about 6 to 10 people in the last 3 nights in that time seen the
Hmm.
same thing.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. You have 6 to 10 people that actually seen the same thing. Um, Herc in Pennsylvania area talked about his sighting and with his son, and talked about how this thing he felt positive things about it going over the area, and that was 5 years ago. So there's the triangular, non-terrestrial triangular spaceships. There's the triangular reverse engineered ships that we've created that are not the same type of thing. They might look similar, but they're not the same. And it's all based on energy, people. When you see a spaceship, what you want to call a UFO, if you stand there and just allow yourself to feel the energy of the craft going by you, you're either going to feel good vibes or no good vibes, or you might just be neutral, but you're going to feel something, because understand, it's not the spaceship that's important. There are beings inside the spaceship. There are people or beings inside those spaceships. So when you say, "Oh, I saw the spaceship," and what are you feeling? You're not getting a feeling from a ship. You're getting a feeling from the energy of the beings that are in the ship. So if you see
Yeah,
something like that, that's what it is.
I was feeling pretty much I was just in shock, honestly.
Mhm.
I don't know. I've always kind of watched these UFO shows when I was a kid, and then
Mhm.
to see something like that. I mean, time kind of slowed down a little bit for me watching it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I grabbed my phone to grab a video of it, it sped up real fast, and I couldn't
And there
even.
you go, right there. You're trying to get a video of the spaceship. They knew you were getting ready to videotape them. They can watch you from their ship. They said,
Yeah,
"Oh, he wants to videotape us. We're not ready for that." They just hightailed out of there. They didn't want you
yeah,
to
it
videotape.
was something crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's just something I'll never forget.
Oh, you're not going to forget it. And I don't think that's the last time you're going to see something. Just be aware that there are going to be increased sightings all over the world of non-terrestrial spaceships, and there's many cloaked here now, and there's many, many more spaceships coming to the planet Earth. Many, many
That's
more.
that's that's something I'd like to ask too. Why don't they just reveal themselves? I
Well,
mean, even if they're
it's
here now, well, why
right.
can't they just? I mean, they don't think we're ready, but media and military have been trying to make us numb to that situation for so
Right.
long.
That's right. Loretta, thank you. So I can answer that. Excuse me. I can answer that question. So they know that we are ready. It's just that everything is a divine timing. From a human perspective, we would like to we'd like to see them now, right? And that's perfectly normal, perfectly natural. So again, it's definitely everything happens in what I call divine timing. On Earth, we want to see things like right away because we live in a situation where we have a watch. We have to be at work in 10 minutes. I have to go to the restaurant. I'm supposed to meet somebody for a date, whatever. So our mind works that way, which is normal. It's just the way we work. And, but they are here. They've been here for billions of years. In terms of this particular dynamic of contact, everybody, they are here and they're preparing for contact. Hey, Taz, good to see you, brother. They are here, but people have to just realize that it's in divine timing. It has nothing to do so much with what we want to have happen. It will happen. And like I said, consistently, I will say this for people that are not sure what's going on. The contacts will start happening in 2026, in less than 12 months, or in 12 months. Okay? Hey, Taz, thank you. And this is the thing. What I want people to do is get prepared for contact. And I've been trying to, even though we're talking with a spiritual UFO talk show, I also have the background and knowledge to tell you that if you take the time after seeing your sighting or if, whatever, it's up to us to be part of that. So it's like, it takes two to tango. So they're tangoing with us in space. They're showing their spaceship, but it's up to us to tango too. So if we cosmically do the tango, that means we have to do the meditation. We have to do center ourselves, not go by what our brain tells us all the time. And if we do that, we're going to be able to facilitate ourselves to be ready for contact in 2026 when it happens, because it is going to happen, And if you don't think it's going to happen, you're asleep. See, I have no problem telling somebody like this person says, no, there's not going to be contact. It's ready to have it. Financial affairs played with. The Vatican, I don't know what that has to do with anything. Unrelated to the topic. So if you're coming in here, we don't care about the Vatican unless it's related to what they know about extraterrestrials. That's a whole nother subject. Nothing to do with the financial affairs. Who cares about that? So I said it. So I think, Lance, what you did is you had a great sighting. I think there's more that will happen, not just for you, but for people all over the place, all around the world. Right. And we'll be here as it happens. This show is going to be a center point for contact. My friend April and I, she does her lives, various times. You might see her on Friends with Fairies 1111. She goes on the ships over like every other night almost, up in Vermont near the Canadian border. She is in contact, and we are part of a group of 4 that will be going off planet next year, on and off throughout the year until 2026 happens. And you're going to be hearing from me when I do go off planet. I'll be coming back on planet with information from the space people to share with you here. I'm a contactee, but I'm going to actually do this. I haven't been a contactee in the sense of physical contact since I was a kid. This is going to start happening soon. There's about 3 other people besides myself. It makes a group of 5. There's about 15 groups of 5 all over the world that are going to be, and in their groups is one person that has been going on the spaceships of the positive space beings called the Ashtar Command. If you're not familiar with that, they are the star people. They are human, and they come from beautiful worlds of peace. And that's the thing that's going to be happening in 2026. It's not going to be an invasion. I want to get that cleared out of here. There's no invasions happening to Earth. And if you hear anybody telling you that, they're lying to you. There's going to be contact of a most positive kind with people from other planetary systems of peace, and they will be making and facilitating contact with the people of Earth.
Are they? Would they be coming from the Andromeda galaxy?
No, they're coming from all over the universe. They're coming from many, many worlds way beyond Earth, and it's not just one area. They're coming from everywhere. So our knowledge of the space of the universe is very limited to what we've been taught. But they come from many, many different dimensions of existence, many universes. They come from very far, far away, and they are very much living in a very high state of consciousness. And you may call them star people, star beings, and they are coming here to Earth, and they already are here. There are people having individual contacts. I've interviewed people on my show that have had direct contact. with physical contact. That's happening right now. But the mass contact will be starting in 2026, and that's why people need to get ready.
Absolutely. I believe you. I'm ready.
I know you are. I can
as
tell
much
you
as
are.
anyone could
You
be.
know? Yeah, as ready as you can be, right? I believe you are, you know? Hey, Lance, thank you for being on here. I appreciate you telling your story. That's a great story. And again, we're on at 11 o'clock at night for people that have never seen this before. Our big show is at 11 at night. We usually have 400, 500 people on our nighttime show. So, hey, thanks, Lance, for being here.
No problem. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to bring you down. Let's see here. And again, I'm not reading all the comments here. I'm interviewing. Red. Okay, so hey, so Red, let me say, hey, Chesno. So if you have a story, you have to be over 18, no foul language, no cursing, no drunks, no drugs, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping on the screen, nothing like that, no paranormal, religion, or political whatever. That's just not happening here. So if you wish to be on the show, there's a multi-guest option. If you are having visitations by space people and you're a starseed or whatever you call yourself and you've had visitations, join us. Tell us your story. We want to hear it. If you're having sightings and you're videotaping and documenting them, we want to hear it, okay? You got to get in the queue, and we'll be able to bring you up here. So it's really important to see all this happen. So Tara, I'm going to have her on. Renee, I believe it's correct. Good morning and welcome to Encounters.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. And how are you?
I'm petrified.
Don't be too petrified. So tell us
I'm
a little bit
getting
about.
used to it now, but
Okay, yeah. Now, can you come on camera? You have over 6,000 followers. You want to come on the screen?
I'll
Turn the
show my
camera
face,
on?
but then I'm going to get off because I look a little crazy. Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Good
So tell
morning.
us, good morning. And so tell us a little bit about your story for our viewers all over the world.
Well, I stay near the airport here in Atlanta, the Hartsville Jackson. So it was about 3 a.m. one night, and I was just driving, and all of a sudden, this big orange ball of light looked like, I thought it was a meteor falling out the sky. I was recording it because I'm like, it was coming down so fast, but it had something next to it, and it was shape shifting. And all of a sudden, it just shot down out the sky super, super fast. This one scared me. That's why I think I'm still a little bit scared. So
Okay.
as I was driving and I got to the stoplight, that ball of light, I swear to you not, was next to the stoplight, directly next to the red light at the same wavelength, like next to it. So I rubbed my eyes. I'm like, I know I'm tired. I had to rub my eyes like, oh my gosh. Am I tripping? No, that ball of light was there and I got the video of it coming out the sky.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. And how big was the ball of light? Can you explain that to our audience?
It kind of looked like the moon in a sense, but just a little bit smaller. But it was orange, a bright orange.
Wow. Can you send me a copy of that video?
Yep. I
And
have them in my
do I
backyard every single night. They were literally just at my front
every
door.
night?
They were literally,
Really?
when we started, when you first requested me, they were literally at my front door. Like, it's like a light that comes under my awning on my home.
Yeah.
And it was like a red light, and then it pulses green, and then it goes red, and then it's just there.
What do you think in your internal meditation or in your inner thoughts of consciousness? Who do you think they are? Where do you think it's coming from?
I think they're interdimensional beings.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they have a tethering thing that I've seen. They were out there last night where it's like, it looks like a stick, but it's not. But it's like kind of holographic. And if you zoom in on my ring camera, you can see the beings jumping onto the stick
Really?
in the middle of the
Interesting.
street. They like to go near my solar panel on my ring camera. I'm thinking that's what I came up with last night. Not 100% sure, but I have a lot of footage. I mean, tons.
Oh, I got to see some of this. And the thing I'm thinking here is, as we're speaking, now I have my friend April in Vermont who's been on our Ashtar ships over over 100 times, and she has the fairies in the woods. She lives in a remote area, and she has the Bigfoot who she's communicated with. They're very intelligent, and then of course the Astro Command people are space family, biologically speaking, off planet. So with your situation, do you feel that there is a star family connection, that they're communicating with you? Because to me, when I'm listening to your story, I get the strongest feeling that there's a bigger connection here. Even though you might, kind of freak out over it, I think there's something beautiful here happening that is something that you need to meditate on.
Yeah, I was a little bit scared at first because I do stay alone. And the other night, actually, they usually come in as they can make themselves blurry on your camera to make it look like fog.
Yeah.
But the other night I was home alone and my baby wasn't here. I have a 3-year-old, and
Oh, okay. Got to take care of the 3-year-old, that's for sure. That's a beautiful story that Renee is talking about. I definitely think that there's a star connection here, that they're communicating with her because she's connected with them. Now, I'd probably say that the light beings are probably in their true form bigger than she is, the actual beings themselves. Hopefully she'll be back on in a minute.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh.
I was just saying as you were doing that I think the space beings that you're connected with in their form, if they were to physically manifest in their form, they're probably slightly taller than you are.
Yeah, I've seen one of them on the camera where they were super tall, looked like a tall gray.
A gray. Okay, that's not good if they're tall gray. You sure?
Only seen that one time.
Okay.
The rest of them, but it looked like they were getting onto, I have a video, it looks like an alien at the top of the tree line, and it lowered something, and my neighbor was walking his dog, and he didn't even stop to look at it, and I'm looking at it on the camera, and then I rewinded it back, and it kept lowering something, and I can see all the little beings lined up, and then they were just jumping on. It was hundreds of them.
Really?
Yes.
This is interesting. When you're able to come on camera, we're going to have you on my nighttime show too, which is 11 o'clock. That's my big show. And are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do 11 o'clock? Okay, we'll do that.
I'm usually up. I can't sleep anymore.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot going on now. That one incident when you say that the Zeta being was there, that's not the normal thing you're having energetic contact with, correct?
I don't know what the Zeta thing is.
The Zeta is, we say, was a gray ET. That would be a Zeta. They have a round head and a body with big eyes.
The big black eyes. They be across the street on top of somebody's home. You can see the bodies of it. And then one night my camera kind of did a flash where it went black and white, and I zoomed in and I screenshotted it. They're up there. They're across the street. Okay,
so I'm now getting that we need to, when you come on tonight, I need to do some work with you. I work with the Ashtar Command. Have you heard of the Ashtar Command?
Nope.
Okay, let me explain it to you so you know. The Ashtar Command are Christed cosmic beings of light from other planetary systems. They are human like you and me. They have families like we have families. They come from planets of peace and harmony and love. And they don't have all the things we have going on Earth. And my father is a space being. His name is Robar. My mother's Luna. I have 2 sisters and a brother on a spaceship right now. I am consciously right now human. I have a kid who's 26. I have a family. I have cousins, relatives. But the Ashtar Command are the other side of the coin. They are the positive space people that have been here for eons of time, and they're coming here to reconnect with the people of Earth in 2026. It's sort of like they are the galactic force of light for the whole multiverse, so to speak, to put it anyway. Does that kind of clarify the definition for you of what I'm saying? Okay. So what I need to do is definitely work with you tonight, and we need to get rid of the Zeta that are across the street. I think there's a lot of mixed things going on here. I think you're having positive contact, and I think there's also other things like the Zeta trying to interfere with that. We're going to make sure that ends tonight on my show.
What is this orb? It's an orb that comes, it was coming over my home every day in the same color, and it did the same thing. Like it scanned my home every day. Like it went from one spot from one side and came all the way around to the top and all the way to the other side.
I'm not quite sure what that is. I mean, man, I'm like, now I'm tuned into your story so much. When I do that, I think there's a lot of ET activity from different energy frequencies that are happening to you right now. I think you do have, I think you do have positive energy happening there, but I think the Zeta, if you say you've seen the Zeta happening across the street, again, I want people to realize that we're not here to, I can tune into stories in 2 seconds. So I think for you, what's happening is a lot of different things. I think that it's something that we need to deal with. I think tonight, what I'd like to do is have you on. One of the things I do that I'm known to do with my palm of my hands is I scan people. So if I do scan you tonight, for example, I will also scan you just to read your energy better. It's all good. And then also I will use my energy to get rid of the Zeta that are possibly across the street. If you've seen them, there's something else going on there that shouldn't be happening. And we're going to get rid of the Zeta and send them off planet tonight when I talk to you.
Okay, yeah, I would like to talk to you after you end your live because I have a lot more to tell you about.
I
And
know
I
you
want to
do.
show you the footage.
I
So,
want to see the footage, yes. So tonight we're going to have you on as our first guest. We're going to get rid of the Zeta. The Zeta don't like when the commanders decides to get rid of them. When I say get rid of them, I mean we're going to send them off planet on a one-way ticket out back to where they came from. That's what we're going to do. And that's what, and people know I can do this. So I'm glad you're on here. There's so many questions I have for you. So I want to thank you for coming on this morning. We'll see you tonight at 11, and we're going to kick some Zeta blank off planet.
yes, sir. Yes, we are.
All
I'm
right.
sick of this.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Renee,
you. I'll
thank
talk
you.
to you tonight.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks so much. Man, and you learn a lot about people. You see, when I do interviews, I want to learn everything about that person's experience. I really do. And the thing that I want to do, when she started mentioning Zeta across the street, watching across the street, obviously she's got positive contact going on, and she's got these Zeta that are there, I think, kind of trying to interfere or watch. So no, we're not having that happen. No. The Zeta are going to be kicked off her area where she lives, and they're going to be sent into space. I will definitely send them into space tonight. I will personally do it tonight. I will send them into space. No, Zeta, you're going home. You're going home where you need to be. You caused enough problems on the planet for people. No more Zeta. Not happening. You see, now, if you watch this show, you'll see that I don't care. I care, but I don't care about how I say what I have to say, because I just say it. I'm not like saying, oh, should I say this? Should I reveal this top secret information? Should I even talk about this? No, the commander has done this for 21 years on the radio, and I don't care. I say the truth. I speak it. I'm here to bust the matrix, And busting the matrix is the best thing you can do. So we're here to bust it. And I know some good people here that are busting the matrix when they go live too. So don't be afraid to bust the matrix, because it's time to bust it up and get ready for contact. Now, these negative ETs are going to try to, the ones that are still hanging around the planet, they're going to try to interfere with people that are having positive experiences. But I will tell you, we will find them and they will be sent off planet. We will find them and they will be sent off planet. I can tell you, the Ashtar Command, they're working really, really hard to make sure that this planet is clear of all the negative ETs that have been hiding here. Thank you, everyone who's here now. Welcome to the show. And it's good to have you all with us. Now, if you've had an experience with contact with space people, I want to hear about it. Don't be afraid to come on the guest request list to share your story. I know you're out there. I know there are people that are documenting right now, footage in New Jersey and other places There's a woman I contacted in Jersey. I saw her footage. People starting to say it's a drone or this. It's not a drone. That woman actually did see some interesting stuff. She videotaped it. Thank goodness. And why was there Black Hawk helicopters in New Jersey where all these different things were showing up in the sky? You know, hey, look, you don't have military Black Hawk helicopters coming over and watching a bunch of drones, giving information to the fire department about the forest fires between New York and New Jersey. That's not happening. All right. So there's something else going on here. Let's see. Okay, let me take a look here. All right, let me see. I'm going to go to Simply T, and then Kari. I think it's Kari will be our next guest.
Hey, how are you?
Good morning. We're doing good. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking.
All right. Well, I see you have like 32,000 followers. Can you come on the camera?
Right now I can't because I'm working. Well,
Oh, you're
medical.
working? Okay, we don't want to get in trouble there.
Medical.
So,
But it's
okay, medical
simply,
work.
you've spoken to me before. It's simply, it's L.
Yes, yeah, well, I know we have.
Okay.
So go and jump right into our morning audience. And what would you like to share today?
For those, because I know there's a few people in here that know me. It started on the 5th of this month. I've had, it's called on my security camera. Lyrans show up in my driveway. So the first night, it was about 12:32 a.m. The Ring doorbell rung. Obviously, that hour of the night, I'm not going to get up and just answer the door, right?
Hey,
So
how
I
are
went to
you?
my security. I went to
Yeah.
the console to check to see the footage from the front door. There was no one there. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. And that's never happened before. So then I checked the driveway, and lo and behold, again, I have a camera and a motion sensor light, and it would this light will follow any infrared. So body like heat signatures. It'll follow it. Um, we have Lyrans in the yard. I had multiple things going on, and I went and got my son because he was the only one in the house still awake. I said, "Do you see this?" And he
Yeah.
says, "Mom, what is that?" He was like, "Mom, that kind of looks like a Thundercat. Like, what is that?" And it was so awesome. And I looked at it, and I could read energy very well. So I go outside and open the garage door. I open the garage door and go outside, and I feel all of this energy, very
Wow.
positive energy, but it was very powerful. And I could not, with my physical eyes, see the beings in the driveway, but I could feel them. And I look to the end of the driveway, and I see what appears to be like a force field. Give me a second, and what I'll do, I'll bring up one of the photos so you can see one of the
Okay.
the entities. So what happens, you guys, with a lot of your security systems, once it picks up something, it will start recording.
Yeah.
So that's what we had saved, and it's been there every night. They've been out there every night, and they've even switched out with other beings every
Oh,
night
wow.
since the 5th of the month. Hold on just a moment, I'll bring it up.
Okay. You're watching the morning edition of Encounters. Ellie's been on the show before. We have a nighttime show. If I don't get to interview you this morning and you have your story to tell, we'll be on at 11 o'clock tonight for 2 hours from 11 till 1 a.m. That's our normal show. We usually have like over 400 people watching the show at night. And so you definitely join us tonight. I'm going to try to fit in some more people before 10:30. And okay, now I'm gonna let Ellie narrate what we're seeing here.
Hey, yeah, so now this one, it picked up, no, it probably appears to look scary. I read his energy, it's not. I think what we have to realize too at this point in time, and I think this is due to the ascension, is that these higher beings had to lower their density enough in order to be captured on the cameras, especially
Right.
the infrared. That's what I thought was the coolest thing, because if you guys look at the back of the first car, you'll see that the plates illuminated, and are the lights. That's because it triggered the the motion sensor lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they were protecting me, and I got that right off like immediately. So the Lyran, you'll see a tarp over the car on the left hand side. The Lyran was
Mm-hmm.
standing in front of the car, looking directly into the camera. And I had to like, I was wrapping my mind around this because at first I'm like, am I getting feed from like, is there a TV show that you like, what is going on? But if you guys remember Man of Steel, for those that have seen Man of Steel, do you remember when Zod takes over all of the electronics and he's communicating with humanity? And do you remember, even though it was like that white noise, that snow effect on the screen, you could see him moving. You could see him moving even through that, and he was talking to everyone. But yes, this, they've been here every night. So last night when I went to go look, you could see them. You could see two Lyrans. They were sitting next to each other, and this is kind of projecting up and off the road a bit. You could see them sitting next to each other, almost like they were viewing my house or me through
Right.
a screen, if that makes any sense.
It
And
does.
I'm looking at them, looking at me, and I'm looking at the other being standing in my driveway, and I'm like, so my question is, what is going on that there's protection around my house?
Well, let me ask you a question. So, obviously, that you have a connection to the space people that were watching you, that were protecting you, correct?
Mhm. Yes, I've been
Okay.
yes, I've been on the ship with them before.
Okay. So, have you asked them why they're here now to protect you?
Yes, I got my answer 2 nights ago. They said it's warfare. There's warfare. There's warfare, and some of us, and you remember, a lot of us, these are our families. Now, some people don't remember. Some people don't know. They don't remember. Right now they can't remember why they have the connections they do. But I was fortunate enough to be brought on the ship, and I encountered the Lyrans. And so that's why immediately when I saw them, I was excited. I wasn't afraid. I was excited because I knew. And for those
Right.
that don't know, Lyrans are one of the guardian races anyway. So I kind of wept because I know, like, I remember who I am, and I know that they exist. That wasn't even a question. But check this out. My neighbor a couple doors down is a sheriff deputy. So I
Hmm.
happened to show the sheriff deputy the footage. Now, mind you, he knows I live up the street from him. So if he wanted to come check, I'm able to show it to him straight from the console. And he said to me, "Oh my God, was it what? We had that training from the Major Cities Chiefs Association, so the MCCA. They had every single law enforcement agency do an in-service on how to deal with UFOs, UAPs, interdimensional beings, and told them that if they received any calls, that they absolutely have to go out and take a report."
Wow.
So, but the thing is that, keep in mind that a lot of these law enforcement, officers, agents, a lot of them on the lower level did not believe in any of these, the
Right.
existence of ETs. They thought it was BS. They thought it was
Right.
something you would see in the X Files. So to
Right. A
him,
fantasy.
I
Yeah. Go
brought
ahead.
validity to what he was just trained on.
Right.
You should have, I mean, the hairs on the back of his neck was standing.
Wow. That's amazing. And the thing is, what I can say to you is, you've been on the physical ships with the Lyrians. You've been a physical contactee. So for people that don't know Ellie, she's had physical contact. This is what I've been talking about. This kind of stuff is going to start increasing for individuals. It has been happening all over the world. There are people that don't have TikTok. There are people that don't have Facebook. There are people that don't have Google or anything like that. They live in a small village somewhere up in the Alps or whatever. There are
Hmm.
people that are being visited and taken on spaceships by space people that are positive. They're having that happen now. Not everybody has social media. I know this to be true. They don't have a cell phone, maybe, but they're having contact. And yes, of course, people like Ellie and others are having direct contact with space people. And this is only going to increase. And you know that. I mean, you're right there. You're,
Oh
you're
yeah,
having the, you're
it's definitely
documenting it.
increasing. Even from, this was the first night. This still right here. For those that can't see it, look at the left side of the back of the car next to the window. And if you want to blow it up, what you can do, you can go to my page because I did post it. It's easier to see it, but he's right there. So it was him, and I had a bunch of beings, and it was just hyperactivity. And I'm pretty sure my neighbors across the street was like, "What's up with the strobe light?" Because it was all night.
Yeah.
But you can see him because that's clearly,
Yeah.
not just the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You can see him coming up through the vehicle. So as time progressed, I was able to see them clearer over the last week or so. Yeah, someone Slay said she could see it clearly. Yeah, definitely there. That is not the vehicle. And so what we did was we went to the software where it stores the footage and
Right.
downloaded it in HD, and my mouth was open because you could see them much clearer. So one would think, oh, if it's not real, it would just disappear because we got a clearer version. It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
They're still
Wow.
there. So I
And
just
Cole,
wanted to let
thank you.
everyone know they're definitely here. More is coming, and for those that would question, listen to the congressional hearings. Even though they're not giving us anything really. To be
No,
honest, they're
would.
breadcrumbing.
Ellie, they wouldn't even show this on the conventional hearings. They're not the one thing they talked about when they said that they say they're in the oceans. And if you've watched my friend April, Friends with Fairies, she's been in the oceans with the Ashtar Command with her family, where she went into the Indian Ocean. It's one of the areas where there's several Ashtar cities. I call them Ashtar cities, space cities in the depths of our oceans, remotely in the oceans. And now one of the speakers, I don't know who it is, doesn't matter, said that, oh yeah, they're in our oceans. Well, duh, they've been on our oceans for millions and millions of years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And what Ellie's showing here, she's documented it, she's showing stuff. We don't have to have more hearings about UFOs by people that are supposedly in the know, that were former military or Air Force or government people in the Pentagon. You're going to get disclosure on this show more than you're going to get on another hearing that happens in 10 months from now in Washington. The things that are happening here are going to be 10 times more happening here on this show. And for every one of you out there, wherever you are in the world, you're going to be the ones bringing disclosure to the planet because you're out there. You're going to videotape and document things, and you got to do this. Everybody needs to do this. Don't depend on the next hearing in Washington for a truth about the ETs and the truth about what's happening in our oceans and the truth about UAPs and all this other garbage. When in fact, let's just be straight out and say it. There are spaceships that are here coming to Earth. There are spaceships that travel within our oceans and seas, and there are space bases in our oceans. Let's just be honest about it. Instead of like sidetracking it and say, well, there's possibility. Let's just be honest with the people of
Mm-hmm.
Earth. Right? Isn't that true, Ellie? Just like
I
we were just talking
agree.
about.
Yeah, I agree. And I also, to me, it's a form of manipulation too. If you think about it, them overstating, oh, they come from the ocean. Yes, there's some in the ocean, but they don't only come from the ocean. What we have to remember is that they clearly told us, and which a lot of us already know this, that we're dealing in many ways, the lines overlap, but you're dealing with interdimensional beings and
Right.
extraterrestrial
That's right.
beings,
That's right.
and
They do
they're all
overlap.
coming through. One of my guy friends, he's had, again, for entertainment purposes only, what people would deem to be fairies, fae, come through his backyard, other
Oh yeah.
entities. One of my friends, she encountered a jinn, and the jinn asked her to help him get home. He said it was very hard to live in this plane of existence is hard, and his only option was to do something to participate in things that were not seen as good in order to be back in optimal health, in order for him to travel on his own. She didn't help, someone else helped him that she knew, but he was able to leave this plane of existence. There are other beings here. The trick was to get us to believe that we were the only ones, and to get, if that makes any sense. But a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of
I
us
mean,
don't fully understand that even with us appearing the way that we do, a lot of you guys have ties. You have galactic family. So I picked this up, and to have it even confirmed again by my neighbor that this is why at his job they were pushing for them to comprehend that they have to take these reports because these things are real, but
Yeah.
the general public has been lied to for so long that even when they see it, they're gaslighting themselves.
Yeah, that's it. And there's a manual that's out now for the police department that tells them what to do in case of a UFO encounter or even an extraterrestrial encounter. They do have a protocol that they have to use. The same thing goes for the federal government, and I'm sure other countries have their own protocol that they are given. Don't you think that the Air Force, the Navy, and any level of the military don't have a protocol in case they encounter a spaceship from another planet or ETs from another world? They have a protocol. We might not know exactly what it is. You got to believe they have a protocol. It's called, don't tell the people the truth, but they have a protocol internally. What do you think happened? If you go back to 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, don't you think that they were preparing a protocol? Like the fact of the matter is, the protocol was it was a flying saucer that crashed in Roswell, and I'm using that as a short story here. And at the same token, 24 hours later, it wasn't a flying saucer. It was something totally unrelated. So not only did a spaceship crash in Roswell, then they cover it up, they get the bodies from the spaceship, and then they lied to the public starting in 1947. And from 1947 to 2024, up until the current history of our current human history, they lied to the public about the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence, whether they crashed a spaceship on the planet that we actually took down or whatever happened. That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay. Loretta says, my son is in the Air Force, can't tell me much. And that's too bad, Loretta. Hey, good to see you, Loretta. There are things happening, folks. We're living in a very interesting time period on Earth. I don't care what decade you live in. What Ellie's documenting here, Ellie, I'm going to have to look at some of your stuff more, when I have a chance. But I'm running out of time, and I wish I could stay on here for another hour. Ellie, we'll have you back on. Maybe we can have you back on tonight, too.
Yeah, I'll come back and speak with you guys. But yeah, thank you for having me up. I appreciate it. And guys, have a great day.
Ellie, you too. You're just great. I appreciate you. And we're going to have her back on. She's got so much documentation. It's beautiful. So, Ellie, thank you for showing us this one with the Lyran. And thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're going to bring Ellie down. I wish I had more time here, folks. I'll be on tonight at 11. I will actually bring Carly Roberts on, and then we're going to call it a day. I have to get out of here, but we'll do it. Hey, Carly, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you, Commander?
We're doing well. And what would you like to share with our morning audience?
So back in 2021, I was at a summer solstice beach party, and well, I guess let me go back a little bit. I'm the type of person who has always believed in aliens. I'm very spiritual. I feel like I have a good intuition and like gut instinct. And my friends sometimes think I'm crazy because I've always said I really want to meet like a nice alien or a nice ghost someday. Like that's just something I've always thought was so
Well,
fascinating.
we stay away from the paranormal, but and aliens don't exist. But maybe let me rephrase it. So the word you want to start getting used to, a teachable moment, is non-terrestrial, star people, space beings.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, non-terrestrial. I'll
Okay,
go with that one.
there you go.
So I'm at this beach party. It's 2021. I'm in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, and the beach it's called Kettle Cove. And the person I was dating at the time was invited by a friend. He's like, I'm gonna have about 50 people over. It's like the longest sun. You have the most sun of the year. I'll get a food truck in my yard. We had like a nice little cottage on the beach. So we were invited to that and we went. And it's probably around like 7 o'clock, but since it was the summer solstice, it was still extremely clear out. Like you could see the moon a little bit, but like the sky was still like light blue and just starting to turn like light pink. And a very clear night, not many clouds in the sky. we're standing in the front lawn, and like little groups are talking in circles, and I'm with a group of like 8 people. We're just chatting there, like eating food with a drink in our hand and having a good time. And like, I don't know if this detail is important, but one of our friends, he wanted to go get his boat that he would have had to like swim out to. And he had drank a little bit. So we were like trying to get him not to swim, but he was being stubborn and he swam out. He was swimming out to his skiff so that he could then get his boat. Anyway, so he did this. And then like about 5 minutes later, as he's swimming out and stuff, we're talking in this little group, and I see this glowing ball, like a big orb. It's white. It's pretty much white, maybe like a little bit yellow. It's a huge like sphere. I mean, it's not an airplane. It was way lower to the ground than an airplane. It was not a drone. It was not a helicopter. It was not a comet. Like it was completely silent. It was just this glowing orb moving super slow. And I see it, like I look over towards the water and I see it slowly coming towards us, like very slowly. And I'm like, hey guys, look at that. What is that? And we all were just kind of like stunned. Like our conversation just stopped, like our whole like little circle. And we look at it and I'm like, oh my God. And the people I was with are like the types that are kind of like skeptical about all of this kind of stuff. And they were kind of freaked out. I was getting good energy from it though. And I'm like, guys, what is that? And then they were freaked out. They were like, I'm like, guys, do you think that's like a UFO or something? Like,
Yeah.
that's not a plane. That's not a drone. That's not a comet.
Right.
It's not, what is that? And it's not the moon. Like that is very close, and that's nothing I've ever seen before. And they were kind of scared, I think, because they didn't want to believe that something like that could exist. I'm like, guys, I think that is definitely a UFO. So it slowly is coming towards us. And other people at the party started to sort of see it. And it came basically right above us. And we're all just like completely silent. And I'm like smiling because I just was feeling like good energy from it and like curiosity. I also was wondering like maybe there was something to do with like because my friend was out like swimming in the water, or maybe they were checking in or something. That's kind of the energy I felt. But then so it's right above us for probably like 5 seconds. And then it just in like a millisecond disappeared. It didn't go up, it didn't go down, it didn't go diagonal. It
It just disappeared.
disappeared like super quick. Yeah.
You know what that is?
Guys, that was crazy. And they were all like,
Yeah.
flabbergasted.
You know why? And when a spaceship disappears or an orb like that disappears, it can go out of our dimension into another dimension, or it could go. So basically, even like if you see a spaceship and you're videotaping a spaceship, let's say in the middle of nowhere land, and let's say you're in like a desert area in the West Coast, and you're standing there. It's late at night. You're with a friend, and you're videotaping this thing, and all of a sudden you're watching it, you're videotaping it, and bam, it just disappears. They're able to go in and out of our particular vibrational pattern or frequency, and that's why when many of these things are documented that way, when the ship disappears and just blinks out, it's gone. Now, there's other times when spaceships come in and you're recording them wherever you are in the world. You'll record them, and they will just take off into outer space. You'll see them just leave. So they have many different ways of coming and going out of our planet and into our particular realm here on Earth, which is they can blink out. Their ships can actually press a button or whatever it is and switch out from our particular vibration to another vibration. So they can go to different vibration patterns, which allows you to see the spaceships.
okay, that's so fascinating.
It is. It's interesting. Well, you know what? I wish I had more time. If you come on tonight, we can talk about it a little bit more. I got to get out of here, unfortunately. I would like to be on here for another hour, but I can't do it. I'm on at 11 o'clock at night for all 330 of you. Many of you who are new to my show. I do a big show here nightly at 11 o'clock on TikTok for about 2 hours. I'm host of WESUFM.org's NPR radio show, Astro Command Radio, for over 21 years. I'm a contactee. I'm able to remotely remove implants from people on my show. I'm talking about the ET implants. I can destroy them. I take them out. I've documented this on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is where you can watch all my previous shows. Astro Command Spaceship News. I'll say it again. Astro Command Spaceship News is my YouTube channel, and you'll want to check that out for past shows. Especially if you're new to the whole thing, you can watch a lot of my great shows that we have on YouTube. They're all recorded. I want to thank everybody for being here. Carly, thanks for being here. Have a great day, and we'll see you all tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. My pleasure. I'm going to bring her down. It's 10:25. I got to go, unfortunately, folks. Let's see, the person in queue. Let's see, Stranger will be on tonight. I don't have time to do any more live stuff right now. I want to thank everybody for being here. Have a great day. It's a Wednesday. We've made it through Hump Day or in Hump Day. And make sure you have your phones charged up. Make sure you have your cameras ready. And make sure you take time when you're not working or doing anything to go outside and spend at least 2 hours looking at different parts of the sky on a clear night. And I'm pretty sure you'll actually see something. Everybody take care. Have a good day. And remember, keep your eyes to the skies. We're here to bust the matrix on the show that's out of this world. Encounters tonight at 11 p.m. Take care, everybody.